Hey folks, this is Alonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. And I bet you some of y'all didn't know I had a book out, did you? Well, I do. N.W.A, Not Without Alonzo, available on Amazon.com, $14.95. But also, there is a comic book, limited edition comic book, Hip Hop Family Tree, featuring yours truly, Alonzo in the middle, Dr. Dre, and Yella. Limited edition, only available on my website, LonzoWilliams.com. Now, if you want both books, the Hip Hop Family Tree and N.W.A, both of them $30. Go to my website, LonzoWilliams.com. In the comments, put your name and what you want me to say. I'll autograph and make sure it gets to your house right away. Both books, $30, autograph, LonzoWilliams.com. And if you're like me, you don't have time to sit down and read like I'd like to, but I love audiobooks. That's why I put my book, N.W.A, Not Without Alonzo, on audio. That's right, but it's available only on CD Baby. Why? Because I set every track, every story to music. So as you ride down the street, listening to the stories of West Coast hip hop, you got some fresh new tracks to bob your head to. Available only on CD Baby, N.W.A, Not Without Alonzo. Check it out, folks. Give you something to ride to. Peace. Why is the music game so cold? Because most artists are young and have no business experience whatsoever. None whatsoever, and they out to get you. You ever see those nature shows where the wolves grab the babies first? Because they don't know to run. Mama know how to run. Mama got to protect the babies. But young artists, especially once you turn 18 and you got you a few Instagram followers, you think you the shit. And next thing you know, you're in a bad situation. Artists that think there's egos and artists think with their egos and they know it. They know artists think with their egos. They know most artists are so into themselves. All they gotta do is stroke your ego and you're in. Simple as that. The vanity of the mind, your ego is the vanity of the mind. And once they see that you are susceptible to their bullshit, they're gonna give it to you. Artists don't know their power and rights. They don't know their powers and rights. They just think that because they can sing or they can rap or whatever the case may be, that's all they're good for. No. You're much deeper than that, but that's why we here. That's why we here today. We're gonna talk about that in just a few minutes. Artists don't know that their music is more valuable than time. Like I said a minute ago, I had a deal. I signed away an album of mine, the publishing. And I looked up, that album was the soundtrack of a movie. You know how stupid I felt? That album was the soundtrack of a movie. I signed that album away for like $1,000. I was supposed to get $1,500, and I think they gave me like $1,000 or something like that. And they saw me coming and took advantage of me. And no bullshit whatsoever. I'm telling you something that happened to me. I'm not telling you something I heard about, I'm telling you something that happened to me. And people that I know put me in that deal because at that time I was kind of tight for cash, and they knew I was tight for cash. Oh yeah, man, I got a good deal for you, blah, 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 blah. Well, I read the contract, it was all forever, perpetuity, indefinite, exclusive. All the words in the contract. And they're in the wrong places. But I still signed the contract and I need that check with my name on it. That check was sitting there with my name on it right there on top of that check was on top of the contract. And it was only a 10-page contract, but them could be the worst ones. And I signed it. And they ended up with that whole album. And I kicked myself in the ass right now behind that deal. So, that's why I'm here today, folks. You ain't got to do the same thing that I did. A little money now, but they know an artist will sell their future for a little money. If you get strapped for cash and you have a catalog of albums of music, somebody say, hey man, I give you 10 grand for your catalog. And you sell those albums, original music. That music, all your music is time-stamped. What I mean by that is your music has a date on it. Right now, I'm being courted by Snowfall. Me, Egyptian Lover, Unknown DJ, LA Dream Team, all of us are being courted by Snowfall, the television show. Why? Because we hold the LA soundtrack to the 80s. We hold the LA soundtrack to the 80s. I didn't sell all my shit off. No, I wasn't that stupid, okay? I learned real fast. And because we hold the soundtrack to the 80s, we looking to make some money. Minimum licensing fee, $5,000. Minimum licensing fee, $5,000. Now, with a deal like that, because Snowfall is not a big budget movie, it's on Celestial TV. What happened was, I've done deals with people like them before, and sometimes you take a little bit less money up front because your BMI checks and ASCAP checks will be much larger going forward, okay? Because especially nowadays, when everything is global, you don't know how many countries that Snowfall is being seen in, and whether they convert the music to a different, the voices to another language, the music still gonna be in English, okay? And you still generate money. So sometimes you'll take a small amount of money, okay, get placed on something like a Snowfall, because it's a hot show. And every time that show get ran, you got money coming. And because it's on a celestial station and not streaming, it may stream also, but because it's primarily on a celestial station, you make more money. You make a lot more money. So yes, my BMI checks have significantly grown since I did a couple of those small deals. If y'all ever seen Michelet deal, Michelet story, they licensed Turn Off the Lights. That was one of my biggest deals. I'll share this with you. It was for $20,000. Let this think on for a minute. That record is 30 years old, and they paid 20 racks to license that song. Why? Because one, it was for her, okay? But it's the soundtrack of the 80s. That's the highest song I got. When somebody want to do it, Turn Off the Lights, you need some money for Turn Off the Lights. Just like you need some real money for N.W.A. You need some real money for Humpty Hump, okay? Certain songs, because of their value, because of their impact on a certain frame time, their value was much more in today's time. So when you own copyrights, when you own your publishing, when you own your writers, when you own your masters, each one of those are a check. The publisher gets a check, the copyright owner gets a check, and the publisher gets a check. The publisher, the writer, and the publisher, writer, and copyright holder all get checks. The copyright holder gets one check by himself that's equal to the publishing check. So if I got 20 grand for Turn Off the Lights, 10,000 was for the license, 10,000 was for the publishing. Okay? 10,000 for the copyright license, for the Think license, 10,000 for the publishing advance. That's how the game goes. So every time you do a deal, there is a different license for everything. So everybody has to be on board. What's in the contract? How much money you can earn, the term of the deal, the rights you assign, and for how long. Like I said earlier, they're gonna ask you for everything exclusively in perpetuity. Hell no. They ask you for everything, name, likeness, publishing, your this right, that right, in perpetuity. Perpetuity means forever, perpetual. They want you to assign those rights over to them indefinitely or in perpetuity. Hell no. Right now, when I do a licensing deal, there used to be a time when you do a licensing deal for a record, you'll license it for 3 to 5 years. They have to come back in 3 to 5 years and re-up that license. Well, they may give you $2,500 or $3,000 for the license the first time. Well, in the second time, that same license, may cost you $20,000 because the artist that you're doing the project on, not licensed surgery for one project back in the early 90s, Dr. Dre wasn't a billionaire. So that same license that you asked me for today in 2020 for this billionaire that you want to reissue this video on, it's gonna cost you a lot more money. Every value has gone up. So now companies start asking you for perpetuity. When they ask for perpetuity, you got to get more money. Simple as that. And usually perpetuity is double whatever if they send you a sync license, say, hey, we offering you $5,000, I want 10. You'll probably get it. Or sometimes I say, I want 15. You ask for perpetuity, I want 15,000. And sometimes they're gonna say no, but depending on who it is, they got to say yes. Sometimes they're gonna say no, but depending on what it is, they got to say yes. All right, so let's get that understood. If they ask you for your rights, and sometimes you just give them away, okay? And that's what we're trying to avoid. When they ask you for the rights, you don't have to give them away. You don't have to give them away. Everything is negotiable. If you ever remember watching 5 Heartbeats, when they're in the restaurant, and right before they cut their deal with Big Red, they said, what about the publishing? Oh, we'll talk about that, okay? Because they know he knew publishing is a part of the deal, okay? Publishing is what allows you to retire on, okay? Publishing is what pays your bills well into your middle ages, okay? Ask me how I know. Know your rights. Do you know your rights? Your writers, like I said before, if you're a writer, you own the rights to your song. If you're a publisher, you own the rights to the song and the music. And you got to control both of them. You own the rights to your stage name and your likeness. These are probably the four hardest negotiating parts. I'm a writer. I want my writer's credits. I want my own publishing company. If you write lyrics, if you write music, you want your own publishing company. If you definitely want to maintain your stage name, yeah, you could use them, but it got to be non-exclusive. And if you're with a major company, it can only be for a certain term. You can't give them perpetuity on your stage name or exclusive in perpetuity, because now they can do what they want to with your stage name. Same, it's your likeness. They can take your picture and throw it on a billboard for promoting something else and not give you anything. Everything has to be specific to your record deal. It has to be specific to your record, that particular project. So understand, these are the rights you have to protect at all times. Your writers, your publishing, your stage name, and your likeness. All these are very, very, I can't stress this enough, very, very important.